Hi, welcome to Live Healthy Miami Gardens Live. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Good afternoon. I am Melissa P. Dunn, the CEO of MD Marketing Network. I'm also a member of the Live Healthy Miami Gardens Communications Subcouncil. So, I come on here once a month and we have a conversation about all things COVID and flu. And today I am kicking off our National Influenza Vaccination Week. And so I am going to invite a member of the communications team to join us, and we're going to share with you all of the exciting things that's happening in the city of Miami Gardens today, courtesy of our Live Healthy Miami Gardens partners. So let me invite to you one of my partners in crime, Miss Karen Gray. Hey, Karen.
Hey there, Melissa. How are you?
I am well. Good to see you. Good to see you, Karen.
You
So,
too.
listen, you and I have been very busy today, right?
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm not ignoring you. I just realized that my phone's on Do Not Disturb. Okay, we're good.
Okay, yes, yes, yes. Let's silence the phone. So, we are in National Influenza Vaccination Week. And as you may know, Miami Gardens, this is our third year in doing the COVID prevention and vaccination promotion campaign with the city of Miami Gardens. And this is actually our third influenza vaccination week
Yes, it
campaign,
is. It
right?
is. We did one last year at the height of COVID. Remember, we did that candlelight vigil, which was so spectacular.
Oh, yeah, that
People
was
shared
super.
those heartwarming stories. We had faith ministers there from all denominations doing prayers and just bonding with the community. It was really a great event.
Yeah,
Absolutely fabulous event.
super touching. And how different that was last year from the first year that we did it in the height of COVID.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, we had a press conference. The mayor was there, and everything was virtual, 100% virtual.
Everything was virtual. Every single thing we did for Miami Gardens was virtual.
Wow. That
Yeah,
just goes to show how much we really are in the new normal right now, right?
absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so let's tell you, community, what the lineup is for this week. So, we kicked off the National Influenza Vaccination Week yesterday at
Yep.
Jesse Trice Community Health Center, and they hosted a free flu shot event on site.
They sure did. And it was by appointment only, but they were able to disseminate flu vaccines to everyone that made an appointment. And the great thing about Miami Gardens and their vaccines, you don't
Mm.
have to live in Miami Gardens to get vaccinated. You just have to show up.
You just have to show up, baby. I love it. And guess who showed up at Jesse Trice yesterday? Thank you to Miss Karen Gray.
NBC6 in Telemundo. And they got the word out last night with Trina Robinson to let people know Miami Gardens is leading the way and championing the cause because we have an extremely virulent flu season right now. And people have to be careful. Even this morning, there was a change in recommendations from the CDC. They're recommending that if you're going to be around people during this cold season, this winter season, to mask up. We may not be in a pandemic anymore, but COVID hasn't gone away.
It sure hasn't.
No.
What surprised me, Karen, a couple of weeks ago, I took a trip to Kansas City, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that trip for me was significant for two reasons. Number one is it was my first time really traveling since people started not wearing masks anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
I
so
hope
surprised.
you wore your mask though.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I was
okay.
so surprised to see how many people in the aircraft and in the airport that still wasn't masked. So the CDC announced on Morning Joe this morning that for the flu season, they're recommending that if you're around a lot of people, for you to wear your mask.
Particularly indoors. But if you're around a lot of people, I just wear my mask. you
Yeah, yeah.
know.
Well, I saw you wearing your mask today, sweetie, because
Yes,
day
I
two.
did.
So on day 2 of National Influenza Vaccination Week, we were at CFCE, the Center for
Child and
Child and
family,
Family
and I always get that
Enrichment,
mixed up.
and they're such an amazing organization. So we were
Yes,
there this morning, and they were also doing free flu shots. And you,
yes.
Miss Gray, got your flu shot. How do you feel?
I feel fine. I don't have any irritation in my arm. And you know something? I've never taken a flu shot. This was the first time ever. And I don't recall ever getting the flu, but I am not one of those people that don't wash my hand and touch
Mhm.
everything and in my face. Although I have allergies, so you'll see me do this a lot. But
Mhm.
I've been very lucky and I would say fortunate because I have good health habits.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. The
I don't get up.
basics, right? Washing your hands, being mindful of not touching everything. The basics, yeah. So you have good health habits.
And I've just been fortunate, but you know, there's a Molotov cocktail out there right now.
Mm.
Okay,
Oh
it's
wait,
not.
let's talk about that in a minute because
Mhm,
we're gonna talk about that in detail on the lunch and learn on Wednesday on Thursday. So,
mhm.
but before we get there, I want to go back to your vaccine. See, so it was painless,
It was painless. It took
and
less than 2 seconds.
yeah, yeah. And then how are you feeling? Any like symptoms?
No, I actually had a scratchy throat for the last couple of days, and I was like, should I? And I'm like, you know what? Let me just do it. Just do it and get
Mm,
it out the way because you don't know. I have events coming up that I'm attending.
yeah.
I was at an event last week in Miami, and my assistant and I went, and we were the only two in there with masks on, and it was set up in theater style, so we were shoulder to shoulder with people. And
Mm-hmm.
I was really surprised. I think there might have been one or two other people there that had masks, but nobody had masks. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
And I know for you, you have to be super diligent because you're a grandma and you have young babies at home.
I do. My twin cheros, my two little precious girls, Gaia and Artie. And I will do anything to protect them. And I have to make sure that I am not bringing any viruses into the house. And also, you know, hope that they're taking the necessary steps not to have people come in there that can bring viruses to the house.
Mm-hmm,
Because
mm-hmm.
as you know, I'm type 2 diabetic.
Yeah,
So I have
I'm right there. I
comorbidities,
get it.
you know, and I can't afford to get sick. I was so fortunate, Melissa. I went 2 years and 7 months without getting COVID, and I got it on my birthday in July. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm getting the
It
flu,
was a
and
horrible
I'm
feeling.
going to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
the new booster.
I get it. So now you just took your flu shot today. So I took a flu shot during Take Your Loved One to the Doctor month, right?
Yes,
And
October.
can I tell you, Karen, I am so happy I did because you know that trip that I talked about that I went to Kansas City a couple of weeks ago, like 2 or 3 weeks
Hmm.
ago. So the other reason why that trip was significant for me is because it was like cold. Like I'm Jamaican. I used to live in New York, okay? Part of the reason why I love living in South Florida is so I get to wear flip-flops all year
All
round
year
if I
round.
want to. It was 19 degrees in Kansas City. You hear
And
me?
it felt like -5, didn't it?
Trust and believe. So normally, right? And I mean historically, I'm not going to say always, but historically, a majority of the time, living in South Florida, if I travel north to a colder temperature, or if I am like under the AC a lot,
Hmm.
I get sick. Like that's just the way in the past how my immune system works. Then, like I came back the Saturday night, like at
Hmm.
some ungodly hour, and then that very next morning, I went and ran a 10K. It
God
was
bless you,
raining.
my child.
Listen, Karen, in the 10K, it was raining and I was already racing, couldn't stop. I already paid my money, continued on running in the rain. Do you know that I did not get sick?
Yeah, I can believe it.
Any of those incidents by themselves, being in the cold weather, And also getting caught, any one of those things by itself would have normally gotten me sick. But I think
Flu vaccine.
they said the only differentiator is the flu vaccine. And this is
Yep.
my first time ever taking it.
Yep.
My first time ever. So I am like a believer. So
Yep.
when you were at CFCE this morning and you were like, "Ooh, I'm going to get my flu shot," I was like, yes, do it.
And you know who else has a testimony? Our old cohort, Natasha. She told me that she used to get the flu every year. And she got her first flu vaccine
She
last
actually did
year.
hers. No, well, she did it this year at CFCE too during Take Your Loved One to the Doctor Month.
Well, she did it the year before. The reason she did hers this year is because the year before she did it and didn't get sick. But the previous years, she got the flu so bad that and she said she took the flu vaccine last year and she did not get sick.
Wow. Yeah. Well, listen, honey, I'm a believer, and I remember, because they always say that seniors should get their flu vaccine. And I remember when my grandmother was alive, I remember having conversations with her before she went into the home. And I was like, Mama, let's go do your flu shot. And she's like, no, sir, I don't want to take the flu shot because if I take it, I'm going to get sick. And so she wouldn't do it. And then, of course, once they put you, once you're in a nursing home, that's just part of their protocol. So you have to do it. And so I think because I heard her, and, she's somebody that I love dearly. I hear her voice in my head a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because she never took it, right? Based, again, on myths, I never took it. Mm-hmm. And I'm 49, and this was my very first flu shot.
Mm-hmm. I'm 60, and this is my very first flu shot.
Woo! All right. Okay. So kudos to us. Yes, yes, we did it. So if you want to get your flu shot, okay, you can go to CFCE today. They're going to be there until 6:00. The address is on the bottom of the screen. Call them, go by, and get your flu shot. Okay?
All you need is an ID.
All you need is an ID. And they're there until 6:00 today. And then tomorrow, where are we doing the flu shots tomorrow, Karen?
UHI.
Okay. Talk to us about that while I pull up the info.
Okay, UHI, they're giving out the vaccines tomorrow as well as the COVID, I think. And COVID boosters. And that's just as important. So they're doing it from 11 to 6 tomorrow, I believe it is. And
there it is. It's conveniently at the bottom of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, the 7th, from 10 to 6:00, you can go to UHI Community Care Clinic, located at 18441 Northwest 2nd Avenue, and they will have your flu shot for you there as well.
Suite 220.
Suite 220. So that is Wednesday, December 7th. And then the National Influenza Vaccination Week celebration continues because on Thursday, we will be hosting a webinar. It is called Fighting the Flu this holiday season. And we are going to be joined by one of the medical directors for one of our partners, Dr. Kerwin from CFCE. She's not only their medical director, she's also a pediatrician. So she's going to talk about fighting the flu. And that trifecta that you were going to mention earlier, Karen, Dr. Kerwin is going to do a deep dive into that, right? We have RSV, we have the flu, and we have COVID.
And there are a couple others that are out there that I learned of this morning. So those are the main players, but it's not just 3, it's more, just so people know.
Oh my goodness. So join us tomorrow, join us on Thursday, the 8th at 3:00 for that really, I think, interactive conversation with Dr. Kerwin so that you can learn more. And you know what? Quite frankly, I'm not a mom, but I really do believe that if you're a parent, this is something that you may want to tune into, either live or watch the replay, because I could just imagine what's going through a lot of parents' minds right now when their child has a sniffle. Like, is it
Mhm.
what is it, RSP, RSV?
RSV, something something virus.
Yeah. And you know what? So Dr. Kerwin actually is going to be on channel 7 tonight
Yeah.
because WSVN channel 7 was at CFCE with us today. And so she did an interview with them where she explained exactly what RSV is. I don't know if that's going to make it in the story, but for sure, she'll explain it on Thursday during our webinar.
Hmm. And it's important too because can't they ask questions? Can't they type questions in the chat?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. You can
I,
type questions in the chat.
I
And
don't.
mhm.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, type questions in the chat. In fact, if you want to, you can, yeah, type it in the chat.
I would say for me as a parent and a grandmother, I would really think about the questions that I feel in my heart of hearts that I need answered. Like, how do I know? How do I know when it's time to take them to the hospital? And also to maybe even check the hospitals in your area to see what their ER is like. I mean, right now it's a serious situation. They're stretched to the limits. Let's just put it that way.
Well,
So,
for sure, they say that on a national level, there is a uptick in ER visits because of the flu. And I made a call to a local hospital that serves the Miami Gardens community. And I understand, based on a preliminary conversation, that there appears to also be an uptick in hospitalization on a local level as well. So, yeah, we definitely need to be vigilant.
yeah. On a national level, if I remember correctly this morning, they said that over 4,000 people have died from the flu. And, this is not new. It's just that flu is something that happens every year and we've just become anesthetized to it. But people die annually from the flu and they don't have to because all they need to do is get their vaccine. And if you know someone, like I have a friend who used to be a nurse, she could not get the COVID vaccine, but she makes sure she wears her mask everywhere because she
Mm.
cannot afford to get sick. And she probably can't get the flu vaccine either.
Oh,
So,
because of her health
yes, her health
reasons,
issues.
private
So,
conversation with her and her doctor. Get it? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
but definitely ask your questions. Dr. Kerwin is the best, and she's very good at answering questions. And
She
because she's a
sure is.
pediatrician, she loves those babies.
She
And
sure does. She sure
Mhm.
does. So go to Live Healthy Miami, go to lhmgwellness.eventbrite.com and register. Join us for the conversation, you guys, especially if you are a parent and you want to know what to do this flu season to protect yourself and your family. Super
Yep.
important conversation.
And that's at noon, right?
Yeah, it's at 12 p.m. and we're going to stream live on Facebook as well as on Zoom. So if you want to be a part of the conversation, baby, join us live so that Dr. Kerwin can answer your questions. And so that's Thursday. What do we have going on Friday, Karen? I don't think we have anything for
No,
Friday.
it ends on Thursday, but
It
I think
ends
the
on Thursday.
takeaway is, you need to get it together. You need to get it together and you need to make sure you're proactive. No reason to be reactive. I'm looking, the CDC says the flu vaccine is safe, and with all vaccines, especially the flu, it's second nature now. They adapt the vaccine every year to the new strands of flu that's hovering around. So it'll help you with all the different types of flu viruses out there. So you have it's like there was a commercial. I can't remember what it was, but it showed, I think it was a detergent that was pouncing. So this is the vaccine. Go, get out of here. Go,
I love it. I love it. I love it. So the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, is now is the time. Now more than ever it's important for us to fight the flu. And listen, if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your family, do it for your community. And of course, I would say the most important person to do it for is you, right?
Yes.
So like I said, I took my flu shot, and this is the first time. I gotta tell my mama this story
Mm-hmm.
because I have been, even like when I was in college and I was going, like, I went to college in Alabama, right? I
Mm-hmm.
would always get sick. And so this is the first time ever in my like adult life that I can remember that I haven't gone from hot to cold and vice versa and not gotten sick, or gotten caught in cold rain and not gotten sick. And like I said, I'm Jamaican, so these old wives' tale about getting your head wet,
You know,
they're real for me.
you
They're
know,
real for me psychologically.
with the babies, put a little rum in the mold.
But anyways, you guys, just to recap, tomorrow, well, first of all, you can go today until 6 o'clock at CFCE to get your flu shot, to get COVID boosters, and they're there until 6 o'clock. 1825 Northwest 167th Street, Suite 109.
In the back.
In the back. So that's tonight. And then tomorrow, what we got, Karen?
Tomorrow at UHI Community Care Clinic, 18441 Northwest 2nd Avenue, Suite 220. And I believe it said from 10 to 6 on the scroll.
Yes, from 10 to 6 o'clock tomorrow. And they will also be offering free flu shots.
Yes.
So that is tomorrow on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, you're going to join us. Grab your healthy lunch. It's 12 o'clock, right? Take your little lunch break, punch out, grab your salad or something, a smoothie, or, if you're eating fried chicken, I ain't going to judge you. And join us. As
it's air fried. We're giving it to them. It's air fried.
Join us for the Live Healthy Miami Gardens Wellness Webinar on Thursday, the 8th at 12 p.m. sharp. We're going to be talking about fighting the flu this holiday season. And you can RSVP at lhmgwellness.eventbrite.com. Dr. Kerwin, who is a medical director for CFCE, and equally as important, she's also a pediatrician. And she will be speaking about, of course, the trifecta that we're facing this season that is causing increased in hospitalization across the U.S. You can talk about the flu, COVID, and RSV, particularly because RSV affects children, and she's a pediatrician, so we don't want to miss that conversation at all. All right, so that's Thursday at 12 p.m. And then I just, want to encourage you once again, y'all. Go get your vaccines. If you want a booster for COVID, you can get that. If you want a flu shot, you can get that as well. And we are here to facilitate the opportunity, Miami Gardens, for you to take control of your own health so that you can, be healthy. Period.
Live healthy together. That's it.
Live healthy together. I love that, Karen. That's the bottom line, right?
Yep. Can I just add something? Because a lot of people, they're over COVID and they have mask hesitancy and they have every other kind of hesitancy. But I would encourage them to go to cdc.gov/flu and just look for some of the facts. But one of the things that they say, most experts believe that the flu virus spreads mainly by tiny droplets made when people with flu cough, sneeze, or talk. And these droplets land in the mouth or noses of the people who are nearby. So it's not that you're hacking or you're sneezing. You can just be having a conversation face to face with somebody and spread the flu virus. Wear your mask. It's really, it's so easy. It's like a no-brainer.
You actually, gave a really good reminder that we should just remind people of the basics, right? Wash your hands, don't cough in your hand, or God forbid, out like no.
Or sneeze.
Or sneeze, yeah.
I've seen people just sneeze out like that. And I was like, ooh,
Not in this age of COVID and the flu, sweetheart. No, 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 no. So you will do that in the crux of your elbow. Wash your hands, and just practice good common sense hygiene. That's so important for all of us.
For all of us.
For all of
Yeah.
us. All right,
Protect
ladies.
yourself and protect me while you're at it, because I'll do the same.
Oh my gosh! You know what? You just brought to mind that new normal song that we produced for COVID.
Yep. The new normal is not over. It's just starting.
It's just starting. And you know what? It's shifting moment by moment, right? So at the end of the day, we're not saying, well, first of all, I am really grateful that we're not living with the same level of fear and anxiety that we were in March 2020 or even December 2020 versus December 2022. I'm really grateful that we have more freedom, we have more latitude. But for me, I'm comfortable with the level of freedom and latitude because I have been boosted.
Yeah.
And I have now taken my flu shot,
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to follow what the CDC says, which is this holiday season, I'm traveling to Alabama, I'm traveling to Atlanta, I'm traveling to DC. So I will have a mask on when I'm around public. It's very important. And
what does it really take away from you? Nothing, right? Absolutely nothing.
Well, listen, girl, who got time to be sick? I'm too busy.
When you talk about freedom, what freedom is the mask taking away from you?
I have things to do, sweetheart. I'm too busy to be sick. So I will be doing what I need to do to protect myself and my family. And at Live Healthy Miami Gardens, we are offering you an opportunity to get your vaccine, to get your flu shot so that you can protect yourself and your family too. As Karen said,
get the education.
Yeah, as Karen said, let's get healthy together.
Yeah.
All right, Kay, thank you for joining me for this conversation.
It's been wonderful and special, and let's get everybody healthy. Let's get everybody healthy. Shot. Listen, if I can take it, you can take it, because I have lived that 60 years of those stories, and I finally acquiesced.
I'm so proud of you, Karen. I'm so proud of you, girl. All right. So that 27 minutes went by real quick, didn't it?
It sure did. Sure did. But that's when you have good information, good company, and good conversation.
Exactly. So let's remind the folks again, one more time, tonight until 6:00, you can go to CFCE for your flu shot. And they are available until 6:00 today. 1825 Northwest 167th Street, Suite 109. Go by. You don't even need to have an appointment, but the phone number is there just in case. So that's until 6:00 today. And then tomorrow, you're going to, from 10 to 6, where?
UHI Community Care Clinic, 18441 Northwest 2nd Avenue, Suite 220 in the great city of Miami Gardens. And just in case you get confused, that's the same building that Frederica Wilson's office is in.
Oh,
so you'll see that if you're like, where is it?
You won't miss it.
You won't miss it.
And so that's tomorrow, right? And then on Thursday, at 12:00, we will be having a lunch and learn where I'm going to be having a really great interactive conversation with Dr. Kerwin, who is a medical director and a pediatrician for CFCE. We're going to be talking about fighting the flu this holiday season. So there you have it, folks. Live Healthy Miami Gardens presents our National Influenza Vaccination Week campaign from the 5th of December to December 9th. So remember, be kind and loving to yourself. You deserve it. Go get your vaccine.
Absolutely. And if you miss these appointments, take a loved one to the doctor on Friday. Go to CVS and get a vaccine.
All right, everyone. Be well.
Bye-bye.